Quest update V54 is a freaking mess. This is in the public test channel, so it is technically not officially launched, but holy crap, I'm having lots of problems. Let's talk about what it's supposed to do and what it's actually doing right now. It's nothing new really for a Quest update to break a few things, but even with everything that's happened to my Quest over the course of time through all these different updates, V54 is by far my worst experience so far. Now, I know someone's going to say this is a public test channel firmware, so it makes sense for it to have issues. 100%. I definitely agree that this is in the public test channel. And I've always been of the mindset that if there's issues, it'll get ironed out before the actual launch, which is what this test channel is for. But this is on another level. This is actually teetering on me not being able to use certain aspects of the Quest in total. And this isn't just on one headset like on my Quest Pro, it's actually on my Quest 2 as well. I've tested both and neither of them are doing what they should be doing, or at least what seems like they should be doing in some instances. Let me explain. So first of all, something new that is supposed to be coming, or at least showed up in V54 when it first launched in the public test channel, was the ability to swap out a Skybox. Now, this isn't a real issue because this is just something that isn't working that showed up. We'll get into the actual issues that are stopping my Quest from working properly in just a minute. So I was planning on doing a video on this new Skybox thing because I found this really cool AI generator that you can do inside of the headset and actually create your own Skyboxes in the Quest and then set them inside the Quest as well to change up what your environments look like. It's pretty awesome, really. When it's working, that is. I had the video partially done, recording everything, and my Quest Pro decided to crash. Actually, it decided to stop recording. We're going to get into that glitch in just a minute, but it essentially crashed my whole menu system. So I had to reboot my Quest Pro. No problem. Rebooted it, brought it back up. The ability to actually change the Skybox had then disappeared from my experimental tab, which upon checking with a few other people, that happened to them as well. But here's the thing. For me, I still have the option to switch my Skybox inside of the menu system, but it does not do anything. I know of at least one other person that it's still working for, even though the option is gone from experimental features. It's possible that they rolled this back because they didn't mean to launch this in the public test channel, but that's just one issue that I have with V54. I was really excited for that. So forgive me for being a little petty that I'm upset that it's not working properly, because when it worked really well. But that's just the beginning, really. So users on Reddit have started to report problems, and I've started to notice these as well. One of the biggest issues is Move is completely broken right now. So you are not going to be able to keep track of your workouts if you use the Quest for a workout. Considering the amount of people that I know that do use Quest for workout, and they like to have Move to both track time spent, calories burnt, even though they're not necessarily accurate, I've heard, and being able to keep up with these streaks that they're doing for long-term workouts, that's pretty much gone away if you're on public test channel. V54 completely broke Move, and I checked this on mine as well, both my Quest Pro and my Quest 2, and it just does not work. So if you want to use Move, please, for the love of all things VR, do not upgrade to V54 if you have the option to. What else is happening in V54? Well, I mentioned it previously. So recording is a big part of what I do. Recording videos, taking screenshots, and that's kind of gotten a lot more difficult in V54. Number one, I've noticed some hangups and some issues with the actual headset working properly. Sadly, it's Bradley mentioned on Twitter that there is apparently memory leaks in both V53 and V54. I had not experienced much for issues in V53, but V54, that makes total sense because it's having some massive problems going on. Like, I'll be recording and it just freezes or loses lots of frames, or I guess drops frames is the right terminology, or the menu system will freeze or disappear. I've just run into a lot of issues with V54, but the biggest and most annoying issue for me is when I go to record something. So normally when you're in a game, you can hit the Oculus button and you hit the record and it'll record just fine. And that works most of the time, still in V54. Problem is that sometimes when you hit that home button, it'll go to the main menu instead of showing the pause menu for the game or whatever, especially if you've adjusted something in the settings or gone to your browser or something while you're inside of a game. Well, the instant you go to the share menu, currently it crashes the Quest menu system. So even if you're in like the regular Quest menu in your home and you click the camera button to go to the share menu, at least on both of my Quests, it completely freezes, crashes the menu and it disappears. And you can push the Oculus button and it'll make that sound of it appearing and then make the sound of it disappearing if you press it again, but nothing shows up. No matter how long I wait, nothing shows up. It just kind of disappeared and doesn't come back. So I have to actually reset my Quest, power it off and power it back on just to get the menu to show up. There is a workaround for that, and you might not even know this, but if you hold down on the Oculus button and then you pull the trigger once, it'll take a screenshot. And if you pull the trigger and hold it, it'll start recording a video. It's a shortcut to start and stop video recording, and I've been using that because the menu system isn't reliable. I've had video problems where videos have been corrupted based on the menu not loading properly, so I really don't want that to happen. So it's a lot easier to use this shortcut. So that's a way around this one problem. But it's still a massive pain in the butt, especially if I want to review some footage that I just shot or make sure it's saved properly, or I'm in the menu system and I forget and I go to record the main menu or the home or anything else, and I click on the share button and then I have to reset my Quest. Pain in the butt, anyways, is what I'm trying to say. I can't really call anything else specific that's broken as far as menus and stuff, aside from the fact that it freezes a lot. Like, both my Quest 2 and my Quest Pro are having some massive lag issues when it comes to pulling up the menu, going through the menu system, loading into games. Now, this might not be universal for everyone, but for both my Quest 2 and my Quest Pro, I'm running into some massive problems overall. So I'm kind of worried about even playing on my Quest that it's going to crash, because I've had a few games crash and completely exit out of them in the middle of the game with no warning whatsoever, just send me right back to the home screen. And that's especially annoying when you have not saved or you've made it a ways and haven't hit an autosave or something. So those are the issues I've personally had with V54, but I would love to know what you've had for issues. So put them down in the comments below so everyone else can compare to see how things are going. Hopefully these get resolved really soon. In fact, I'd be kind of happy if they just rolled back to V53. I don't want to roll back myself because then it factory resets my headsets, and I really don't want to lose all the data that I have. What else is happening this week in the world of Quest? Well, some cool stuff, actually. There's some new game announcements. I don't know how to say this. Quanta? They claim it's like Smash Bros, like a VR brawler, and it's supposed to actually be coming to Quest in June. I've heard quite a bit about this game. I've never personally played it. I want to try it. In fact, I might bring my son in for a video because he loves Smash Bros style games. But that is coming. It looks unique. There's nothing on Quest that's exactly like this, so I'm kind of curious to see how it plays. Another big game was announced as coming to the Quest, and that is Budget Cuts. If you've never heard of this game, it's actually a really cool stealth style game that I believe was on the original PlayStation VR and on PC VR. I played some of it on PC VR, but it's actually making its way to Quest on June 1st. This is Budget Cuts Ultimate. This includes everything from Budget Cuts 1 and Budget Cuts 2 into one full seamless adventure. Sounds like a lot of fun. This is a really cool stealth game with robots and scissors, and it's a blast to play. So if you're looking for that kind of stealthy, actiony game, then I highly recommend checking out Budget Cuts Ultimate on June 1st when it launches. When it comes to game updates, there's been a couple of game updates that have come out, including the Broken Edge Pirate update that just launched, I think it was yesterday. So that looked pretty cool. I haven't played a lot of Broken Edge, but it looks like a really fun game. I should really give it a shot. And another cool update for Drop Dead the Cabin is out now, called the Minds and Modes update. It adds in a couple of new weapons and new locations and some new difficulties. This game is just like, or at least very similar to, Call of Duty Zombie Mode. So if you're into that kind of thing, and multiplayer especially, they're going to continue to support this game and add updates over the course of time. So I highly recommend, if you like that type of game, to check this out. This new update looks fantastic. When it comes to new games coming out today, right now actually, should be launching if this launches at the time it's supposed to. Another Fisherman's Tale is coming out today. Have not played it yet, but look forward to finally taking the time to jump in and play it. And then Windlands, the original Windlands 2 came out a little while ago, and now Windlands is making its official launch on the official store. It was on App Lab before this, but those are the two games that are coming out today. Well, there you go. There's Update V54 until we get an official launch with real launch notes. Have you run into any issues with V54? Let me know down below what you've run into. I'm curious to see how everyone is experiencing this new update. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and happy questing.